Okay, this is slide 11, chapter 4. So, test the theory to determine cause. So, in previous slides, let's go back to remind you, we talked about establish the theory of probable cause. Before that, it was identify the problem. So, it's identify the problem. Establish a theory of probable cause, meaning first you determine the problem. What's the problem? They can't print. Probable cause. Are they using the wrong printer, maybe? Okay? And then we're on to test the theory to determine cause. So let's find out if they're using the wrong printer. Let's look in and see what printers are using. So here we go. Test theory to determine cause. You can determine an exact cause by testing your theories of probable causes one at a time. So in previous slides, we talked about going over things you think may be causing the problem, and we were supposed to list them, if you remember, in order of the simplest to like the complex, most complex, starting or the quickest and easiest. Figure 1 identifies some common steps to determine the cause of the problem. Let's look at them real quick. Common steps to determine cause. This, and again, this was I mentioned printers. Here they're talking about a computer that won't boot up to its OS, let's say. So, is it check to see if the device is actually powered on? Will be the easiest thing to check, right? If the user's like, my computer doesn't work. Ensure the power switch for an outlet is turned on. Ensure the surge protector is turned on, that little flip on the surge protector. Ensure external cable connections are secure. Maybe the power cords got loose. Ensure that the designated boot drive is bootable. You guys have enough experience now to know that, like, when you try to boot to a drive, like booting to a flash, it could be booting to the flash drive instead of the hard drive. And it could say like no OS found because it's trying to boot to the flash drive. It usually won't happen with that. These are like older computers would kind of conk out, I think, if there was like a game floppy disk in the floppy drive, that could cause your computer not to boot. Verify the boot order and BIOS setup. But you always want to be aware of your boot order. We talked about that with Windows. That could be an issue with just loading Windows. But anyway, be aware that's one of the things that could be wrong if you're trying to boot a computer that's not working. After identifying the exact cause of the problem, you then determine the steps to resolve the problem. As you become more experienced in troubleshooting computers, you will work through the steps in the process faster. For now, practice each step to better understand the troubleshooting process. If you cannot determine the exact cause of the problem after testing all your theories, first let's go back to this. As you become more experienced, you'll work through the steps, the process faster. For now, practice each step to better understand the troubleshooting process. So, you guys have already done this when you go to turn on like your Xbox, right? You hit the power button on your Xbox, right? Think about that for a second. And nothing happens. So what do you do first? There you go. So you just, it's no different, okay? So you've already done something like this. And it's the same thing with computers. Your Xbox is a computer. PlayStation is a computer. We talked about Xbox is running some kind of crappy Microsoft operating system. And we talked about PlayStation is running FreeBSD, right? An offshoot of FreeBSD, which is a Unix clone, very similar to Linux. So they're just computers. If you cannot determine the exact cause of a problem, so let's say let's say your Xbox, you check the cord is in, then you check the power switch, your little surge protector, that's on. You test it, another plug in there, like you turn on a light on and it works. And you're like, I can't figure why is my Xbox not working, right? So if you cannot determine the exact cause of the problem after testing all your theories, establish a new theory of probable cause and test it. So you went through like this stuff, but then it's like, oh, maybe like my power supply is broken inside my Xbox, right? Like we saw the power supplies in the PCs, the computers, right? Well, do you think your Xbox has something similar inside it? Yeah. So that might not have been something in your initial theory, but now you have to start thinking about that. Is something wrong with my power supply in my Xbox? And maybe I can throw it away and get a proper PlayStation and actually play with people. So Establish a new theory of probable cause and test it. If necessary, escalate the problem to a technician with more experience. So if you're just a lowly noob who doesn't know anything, you might have to ask someone who has more experience than you. So if we're working here at the school, and let's say, in the spring, you guys start going on jobs in the school, you can't figure it out, you could go ask Akil or Brandon and say, hey, I can't figure out what's wrong here. You think you can help me? I tried everything that I know at this point, and I can't solve this problem. It's okay to ask someone else. That's how you learn, right? And now you know what Akil knows about that problem, right? So you just became more experienced. And someday you'll be the more experienced person. Before you escalate, document each test that you tried, as shown in Figure 2. So this would be like a piece of software. It could be like a web app or something that this particular company uses for their troubleshooting, right? They call it like a ticket. So it could be you were working on I don't know what HW means, but the tech was working on a laptop. The customer had a laptop. The problem is what's the problem? It won't boot, right? This is case ID is some sort of internal company identifier. That this is the first work order, let's say. What's the priority? What can you tell that means? Like, if it's a medium priority and you have something else that's a high priority, which one do you have to do first? The high priority one, right? Okay. If it's since Jeremiah is lazy, maybe we give him the medium priority later on. You know what I mean? What's the user platform? Windows 7. Now the user might not even know that, and you might not know that if it doesn't boot up, right? So if you ever ask a user what operating system you use, you may get crazy answers. Oh, I use Google. Or you don't even know what they're going to say. You know what I mean? I use Chrome. Okay, you have no idea what they're talking about. I use Fire. No idea what you're talking about. Okay? You'll be like, what operating system are you using? That's an open-ended question, right? So you're liable to get, what operating system do you use? Oh, I use a Dell. Okay? You have no idea what's going to come out their mouth. All right? What's connection type? So this is the way they're documenting it. So you document it on paper, you could have a nice fancy thing like this, and maybe we can design one of these like this and make a web page. If Kyrie learns programming, Java script, we could make a page like this for all our jobs, okay? All right, so that's the end of, I believe, slide 11. See you on the next slide.